Right. Welcome to the L Trucker stream. I will I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Virtual background. I don't really want a virtual background. I virtually want to not change my background. It's been a hell of a week. I have not gotten much done. But I have done some moving around and some working out. I just tidied up the kitchen and did some dishes. I went to get my x-ray done. And my son, who's also had some chest and lung type infections, but they seem to have cleared up on their own. We had a requisition for him too. My son and I have the same last name. We're both getting chest x-rays. I grabbed the chest x-ray requisition and went to the hospital to get the x-ray done. You can walk in and get them done at this point at that hospital. And I had my son's requisition and did not know it. And I was very tired by the time I walked up to the door and into the diagnostic imaging department. So that wasn't good. But the good news is, don't tell anybody in my family, but I managed to get it on my bike and go for a quick ride to the hospital and back. Not very far. Riding seemed good. I wouldn't want to go for too long. I was tired when I got back, but I had enough energy to tidy up the dishes and put some stuff away and wipe down the counters and that kind of thing. So I'm counting it as a win. I also did some very light arm workout, just a small one before I went, and I did some walking and stuff to get to my bike and whatnot, and also in and out of the hospital. I'm going to do a treadmill walk. I think I'm going to have enough energy for it. So is there a topic for today? Is there something we should talk about? And it's hard to say. It's hard to say if I should have one specific thing going on. Should I be handling one thing over another? Should I talk about things that I know a ton about? Should I talk about things people are interested in? It is hard to say. I know people are not used to seeing me here on a Friday afternoon. And other things I usually do, like going and hanging out at Slim's, which I haven't done in quite a while. He doesn't usually do Friday afternoons, and sometimes he does a game stream. And I've been a combination of things. I haven't been able to go over there and hang out too much because a lot of things that usually fit into my schedule going over there don't happen when I'm sick at home. One is that I'm very unwell and tired, and I don't have any energy at the end of the day. I'm actually getting ready to, like, a few times I've still been having naps in the afternoon. Today, I have a bit more energy, but I slept until almost 10 o'clock this morning. My wife sent me a text wondering if I was still alive. But I'm basically good. I started this week off with something pretty cool, and I've mentioned it a couple of times, and that is that we had a summit. And that summit involved a bunch of really wonderful people that are trying to help people like myself living with obesity. And, there's a few things I could talk about ad nauseum. And talking about bikes and motorcycles and machines and heavy equipment and trucking, I could talk about for a long time. But I don't know if people are interested in that or not. I might sometime do like a tour of equipment. I'd have to think about how to do that, but I could probably find some like stock images or stuff and talk about some of the equipment I move and what it's like and what it does. I think a lot of people don't work directly with that stuff, or they've seen it going down the road on a truck like the one I drive, or they've seen it at a construction site, but they don't know how it all works. So maybe that's an interesting thing I'll talk about one day. But because this week started out on the tone of my work as an advocate, and I also had a chance to speak to a good friend of mine and a great supporter of mine who works at Obesity Canada, I thought, without getting into details of the conversation, I thought I'd think about talking and sharing with the lovely people that joined me here. And so I thought I'd talk about a couple of things. And the first one I wanted to talk about was about how so many people that I talk to, and I do get a great chance to talk to like my colleagues, both in research, and so they talk to lots of people, and then also I'm really lucky to talk to other people like myself who are patients who live with diabetes, they live with obesity, they live with one or the other, or both. Are they people that live in disease states have a unique take on things, and mental health is something that seems to touch on everybody's life. The number of people I know that deal with chronic disease, chronic pain, um, and also seem to come up against like an abnormal amount of bullying and poor treatment. So, and it seems to make a vicious cycle. And I certainly know many people in my life that have been addicted to drugs, to alcohol, and then we talk about food addiction. And I'm not certain if food addiction is something that directly affects me. Ember, it's lovely to see you. Thank you for coming by, and hell to you as well. I appreciate your celebratory emoji, and also Ember is just a lovely lady who does a great show. Ember, you'll be glad to know that my first person unsubbed. So I've pissed someone off enough that they stopped subbing to me. It's my first time ever going down in my sub count. I went from 113 to 112, and I'm pretty sure it was Kent Hovind that dropped it after I called him a lot of bad names and re-sang my terrible song about him yesterday. Well, that was fun. Now, today will not be a launch show because my children will come home soon. Yes, life goals. Yes, can I piss off Ken Hovind enough to unsub for me? I realized not years ago, months ago, I realized in watching my sub count go up that my true success would come when I'd piss someone off enough that they left and wouldn't come back. What they didn't do was leave an exit note, those are the best, I think, right? The exit notes are fantastic. So I was going to just mention that if you're suffering from mental health issues of any kind, or you're able to recognize in yourself that you're self-medicating, I'd like to recommend to people that they seek help from a doctor. Depending on where you are, it may or may not be easy to get to a doctor, but I'd like to recommend and suggest and hope that you have access to some mental health therapy. And one of the things that came up with this was how good and effective talk therapy, CBT therapy in particular was one that they studied. That's one of many types of therapy, and reaching out to mental health professionals is a great thing to do. I know there's been a huge demand. I think the COVID thing fixed that up. I thought you're hot, but now you look like a girl is my favorite exit note so far. That's great, Ember. I don't think anybody thinks I'm hot, but and I'm not trans, so I won't be able to find out. I won't be able to find out by doing any sort of transition. Yeah, but that's fantastic. That's hilarious. And Ember, I just, if you don't mind sharing, I'd just like to know, was that a public exit note or did they send you a DM on that one? Because that's wild. And if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to share any more than you've shared. That's entirely up to you. If you don't already sub to Ember and you're watching this, like I don't think too many people are here right at the minute, but if you're watching this on a replay, please go check out Ember's show. She does great content. All sorts of great information comes pouring out of Ember. A lot of it has to do with religion. Oh, it was in the live stream. So did they say that to you just in the side chat, or were they on stream with you? Like came on, did a thing. That's fantastic. Well, you know what, Ember, you the reason why you look like a girl is because you're a beautiful woman, and that's what you look like. You look like what you are. So, and I don't know if people, I don't, you should have taken a screenshot. Yeah. I sometimes take screenshots of things I write because I'm, does that make me a narcissist? I don't know what that makes me. I sometimes write something where a thought comes out of my head that's sparked by the conversation, and I write it, and then I'll screenshot what I wrote. Because in a lot of ways, I'm actually just writing myself a post-it note about what I'm thinking about what's being discussed, and I'm not expecting to interact with people on it. And I'm like, does that make me some sort of a weird, egotistical narcissist? Hey, Spooky, good to see you. It's good to see you, Spooky. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Anchor. I don't know why Ember isn't a mod here. Um, I'm gonna have to make her a mod. That would require me becoming a thing. Oh, Rachie, good to see you. It's so good to see you, Rachie. Rachel's been doing all these like great short videos. I don't think she has a specific schedule, or if she does, I haven't figured it out. Or the YouTube algorithm is hiding them from me. Um, Rachie has a great channel. Ember has a great channel. Aunt Jur, I don't think makes YouTube content, but Aunt Jur makes. And feel free to show them Aunt Jur, like shirts and things. And a lot of them have great sort of strengthening voices for females in general against some of the misogynistic bullshit that comes out of a lot of bullshit places. So, like I said before, my kids will come home and I'll probably stop doing a stream because my kids are going to come home and say, "Dad, what are you doing? You know, this guy, here's chaotic." I love it, Rachie. Can I put that up here? This is. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put this on a T-shirt. And Rachie should too. I think if Rachie put like her face on a T-shirt and just like her avatar and not in some kind of great things. See, now my wife's calling me. My wife's calling me, and I don't have anything to put up here and entertain people with. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to mute All right, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. So, I think this thing ended, right? So I'll close that. Okay. Yep, yep. There we go. There we go. Okay. No, no, they won't suspend the student because it's a student with issues. It took me a minute to realize that I still had. Hey, Ollie. It took me a minute to realize I still have like this sort of intro music type thing I've been working on, which I didn't find, but I found that one, and hopefully people appreciate my homage to Douglas Adams and his character Trillian. Hey Stephanie, good to see you. Good to see you. I saw Stephanie's show for a little bit, and then I went to do the X-ray, and then for those of you that were here at the very beginning, you realize I went to go get my X-ray and accidentally took my son's requisition for his chest X-ray because I read the last name, the chest part, threw it in my pocket, and I rode my bike all the way over there. And yeah, Spooky's usually over hanging out with Stephanie, which is Missing Mod. Missing Mod has like a little party session or discussion many days. I've been over there a few times. So yeah, so that was yeah, my wife had a day and I didn't tell her I was in the middle of doing a stream because she'd be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Anyway, she wants to grab a couple of groceries on the way home and needed to know what I needed, but also wanted to tell me she had a rough time because she got the kids. It's not a bad thing, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because it's not something I'm super aware of other than what my wife knows, and my mother was a teacher too, and a lot of teachers in my family. Actually, her two sisters and her brother were all teachers, pretty much all retired now. But yeah, I've heard quite a few things about teachers. In fact, my mom's best friend and her best friend's daughter, who I grew up with, are also teachers. I can pretty much get a teacher's opinion on things any day of the week. And I'm gonna wrap this up soon. But I started out talking about mental health. Mental health is a rough thing, but there's other things. And yes, Rachel, I appreciate teachers a great deal, and I also appreciate nurses, and I know nurses and teachers kind of get lumped into these jobs that we talk about that women tend to do, these helper jobs, and they're more than helper jobs. I hate when people say that, and that was something that I didn't become aware of until my sister actually brought it up in her high school year. She's like, I don't want to be a teacher like mom. I want to be something else. I want to make more money. I want to be more appreciated. And she was talking about how these particular things. Yeah, it means in about an hour. That's right. That's right, Jared. Aunt Jer knows how this goes. She knows how it goes. But I'm because my kids are coming home, I'll have a hard stop when they come and I'll just like pop out of here. So it'll probably be like within 5-10 minutes. And this has been a weird stream because my wife called in the middle of it and everything. Hopefully people enjoyed that little musical and art show that I did there. And I was trying to figure out what else I could share that would be interesting. Like yesterday, I was sharing about heavy truck dress up kits and stuff. Which I think Ember may be the only person who really appreciates that. I don't know if she puts like fancy shifters in her truck. So I think the last time I talked to Ember about her job, she was doing like sort of moving vans around, van trailers around or something like that, a reefer thing. So that's usually done in a day cab. They don't usually have a lot of room for a dress up kid in those. Yeah, life does come first, Rachie. I you know what? If this was my job, I'd probably have some sort of professional studio, and I would tell my family, hey, this is just like when I'm driving the truck. Like when I'm driving the truck, I can't be. That's not that I'll stop being your dad, but I'm driving the truck to make money so we can afford to live and stuff. But which I don't know. My health today was up and down. I felt well enough to ride my bike. That was great. Yeah, different tractor every day. Yeah, Amber, you're like, yeah, if you're slip seating, that sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry they do that to you. I at least have my own tractor assigned to me. It's not I don't own it, but I don't slip seat unless my tractor's broken. So, and my tractor is a specialty tractor, so like the type of work I do is going to be done. Like they try to give me the work I like to do, and I enjoy doing it. It's really good for me working there, and I want to get back at it. But when I drove or rode over to the hospital and saw how hard it was for me to walk to the hospital, like it's a slight incline and it's hot and sweaty out there. It's kind of sticky and humid. And that humidity is doing a number on my lungs. I had to stop twice on my way in to catch my breath. And I had given myself my puffer before I left. And I'm like, I will do better if I have the puffers and my lungs in as good a shape as possible. It did not do me any good at all. So yeah, I'm feeling a little forlorn. Tomorrow I'm gonna go try to go get the X-ray done. I guess they're open in the morning. I'll try to get it, see if I can still slip it in. And at least that'll be done. My doctor's doing a follow up with me at the end of next week. Yeah, I wouldn't know ups without downs. That's true, Rachie. That's true. And you know what? Every cloud's got a silver lining, as they say. It, these old hackneyed cliched sayings that they're only cliches because they're said so often because they're true, right? Um, I mean, there was someone doing an interesting show, but what a bad argument is that God. For those that are religious, I'm sorry, I don't like this argument, but God makes terrible, terrible things, so we appreciate the good times. It's like I think we could probably have a little less contrast. I don't necessarily need to see a massive human genocide in order to appreciate the fact that people don't shoot at me on my way to work in the morning. I hope people can understand that I don't think God's doing me any favors with that. Um, and he's certainly not doing any favors to the people that are the subject of the genocide. And I hope something like that would never come here, but I really wish it wasn't happening anywhere. And I don't necessarily need to see anything quite that bad in order to appreciate how nice my life is in comparison. And I still have things to complain about. And my biggest complaint right now is just the cost. The cost of living is outstripping pay for everybody. And the job that I signed up for, there's been no increase in pay. I'm hoping that there will be some, but it's not going to be fast enough, right? Um, Alex O'Connor is quite an erudite speaker on many things, and certainly for the not needing God as a start. As Alex O'Connor said, we can appreciate how tall mountains are from the plain without needing chasms to compare. Yes, and chasms are beautiful and wonderful in their own right, but if you fall down one, I don't think you're going to appreciate its aesthetics. Yeah, it would be good if everything was positive. Wouldn't know. Yeah, I agree, Rachie. Great, Rachie. I'm grateful to for things that are good when they're good. And I'll put up this Alex O'Connor thing that Ember's reminding us of. Yeah, Rachie, I'm just gonna say, like, I agree. It's good to have some contrast and appreciate the good. Oh, here comes one of my kids now. So this will be wrapping up my show. But the good, the bad is that I got to wrap up the show. The good is my kid is home and I get to go see them, see what they're up to, how their day was, which hopefully was good. So I'm gonna end it on that, and I'm gonna say definitely check out Alex O'Connor too. I think Ember and Mark do they did a debate takedown or on Alex O'Connor debated, I forget the guy's name. I think he's a Southeast Asian guy. Um, Probably not from there, like, but maybe just like sort of ethnically Southeast Asian. I forget the guy's name. I know he's a famous speaker on religion as well. Not a very erudite person to try and back up the God position, but worth a look. Dinesh D'Souza, that's it. That's it. Okay. Thank you, Ember. Dinesh D'Souza. Um, Ember, I don't know whether that was streamed from your channel or from Mark's, but I know you guys sort of have done some stuff back and forth. So Ember on her channel has a a great show that is a great show in its own right, and it's on right before Bad Science Sunday, which is my favorite show ever. But Ember's also one of my favorite creators. Actually, like so many people that come by to support me are creators I really enjoy. So I just came out with a new Trump conspiracy film. Dinesh D'Souza did? Okay. All right. Well, Ember, I'm expecting you and Mark to take that down. So, Ember, Ember, I'm gonna try to figure out how to make you a mod. Here, I gotta figure that out. I guess the next time you're on, I'll figure that out because I'm having trouble working all the buttons, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop streaming. So, thank you to everyone that comes by. I appreciate the support I get here, and Rachie, if you're still up for it, I want to drag you on here to have that conversation about your intersection with certain opinions on earth shape and stuff, if you're still up for it, maybe you can find me somewhere. There's a creator god, or this always existed. But Rishi, I'd like to get you to come talk to me about that too. That's an interesting thing. But Richi's a great creator and a great communicator on this stuff too. So thanks a lot, everyone. And yeah, and I'm gonna do the 100 sub special one weekend soon. It won't be this weekend, and there's a couple of other weekends that are busy. But yeah, life is life, kids. Yeah, Rachel, I get it. I got kids. I got a life. And that's what's slowing me down from some of the stuff I want to do on weekends. But I'm just gonna do one. I'm gonna get some of my favorite people invited to come and be definites, and then open it up to anybody else that wants to come. But the people that have supported me the most, I'm gonna reach out to and ask if they want to come. And I'll try to do like a heads up on it so people know what's coming, and maybe get it done just before I go back to work, and which hopefully is not going to be too far away. But it didn't feel too close today. All right, thanks everyone. I'll see you later.